Jonathan, I've had the pleasure of taking your entire series of classes. How would you describe what your intention is in the body of work that you offer within the classes?
The classes teach the same kind of things that I do. So my intent in the class is to teach everything that I've learned and know and have experienced in the last over 40 years now, in terms of how the mind works, what the spiritual side of a human being is, and how to incorporate that, and how to do all the clearing. Because the skill in the clearing comes from primarily knowing what to look for. Because we clear what we discover. If we don't know that something's there, it's probably going to sit there. And it's not going to go away by itself, even though time may pass since the event happened that triggered it. So the class teaches a way of developing intuition, to be able to tune into the fine nuances of each of the issues that a person has, and many, many techniques then on how to effectively actually remove the causes, whether it's a karmic cause or it's some subtle energy cause, or it requires a shift in consciousness.
I literally have had my life changed because of the series of classes. And what I found is being in your presence for the 2 weeks during the classes, it's really genius on how you've created different aspects of meditation, along with giving us hands-on examples of step-by-step what we need to follow through to tune in to those subtle energies, that subtle awareness, and being able to clear the causal body of that which has been causing us conflict, pain, or struggle. And whether it's in relationships or jobs or different things, and you can bring it back to your family, your home life, to your employment, like all those experiences, and you have a new awareness of what's really going on in truth, instead of just reliving the triggering again and again and again that kicks your booty. It's just painful a lot of different times. So when we go through the different aspects of learning how to detect the subtle energies, how did you come up with that? It's really genius.
Well, I think the way I developed it was by spending thousands of hours doing it. And what I've been able to do is distill it down into a pretty easy system that virtually anyone can learn to do. And I've refined it over the years so that I've got it down now that even people that don't think they can do it find they can do it. And they're pretty surprised, usually within the first few days of the classes, that, wow, I can make this work. This really is something I can do. And over the process of building confidence in doing it, a person gets better and better at it. And then a lot of different tools. You get a big tool bag by the time you're done, so that almost anything that comes up, you know what to do with it. And the classes are very interactive. So you get a lot of practice with other class members on practicing how to do this, and therefore you learn by doing. And that's the biggest part of the class. I do lead different meditations, and I lead everybody through the processes first, but then you get to practice them with other class members, and that's where a person gets really good at it. And then between the classes, a person can do them over the phone with their classmates, and so they get a lot of practice between the classes, and by the end of the program, they've really refined their ability. And I like to think that we leave almost no stone unturned in terms of the kinds of things that people struggle with in life, and some of the strange things that people experience, and how to deal with them.
One thing that I really appreciate is the practicalness within the conversations, that people can just share, this is what I'm experiencing, And you can apply it to the energetic component, and everyone gets to learn by the shared discussions and conversations within the group.
Yeah.
And the value of that in and of itself is extraordinary.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of interaction, and we go so thoroughly through all of the human condition and what causes things to be the way they are. The people come away with a phenomenal understanding. And so a lot of the people come to the classes just for their own growth. But some people have actually taken the program and they become professionals, healers, or other types of practitioners where they can incorporate these skills in the other kinds of work that they do.
Absolutely. You just mentioned that people come away with a great understanding, and I certainly appreciate that and have benefited myself. Another thing that people come away from, and again, I benefited from this myself, was the clearing that takes place. Where all of a sudden, okay, there were these energetic components of fears and struggles and that I would experience in my life. And then when you take that into the different sessions, all of a sudden the layering of programming, if you will, or triggers, you're able to experience a release, a clearing.
Yes, yes.
And that component of being able to use the classes as a tool to get clear, along with the understanding, essentially gives you a new capacity for living your life.
Yes, and helping others. And every day we do at least one, in most days we do at least two healings and clearings on each other, utilizing the different techniques. So the skills are built, and they're refined, and they're improved each time you do them. And so we start with the early classes with very simple exercises, and they just keep getting more and more in depth the further we go.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. I personally owe my life to the depth and the body of work. I just really feel like the classes in and of themselves, like you said, not only have allowed me to live my life, but have allowed me to help others, and the value of that and the richness of that. And along with my children, being able to support them in whole new ways of seeing something in truth instead of from a place of victimization or pain or struggle. It's like, what can I glean from this? And how can I experience, this wonderful thing called life in a whole new way?
What's taught in these classes is something that I think for the most part would be wonderful if it were taught in schools. And a lot of the people that come to the classes will say that, like, gosh, why couldn't I have learned this when I was a kid? And they are really pretty simple techniques, and a child could learn them. And I've actually had some younger people come, not children usually, but I've had a number of teenagers come through the classes too, and they do very well with it. So it's the kind of thing that, reflecting back on, I wish society was more open-minded about incorporating these things, because it could make a phenomenal difference in the experience that people have.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.